Good afternoon, everybody. Come on in here. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Yes, come on in here. Come on in. Well, what's going on, everybody? Hey, MFN Downs. How are you? Welcome, welcome. What's going on, y'all? Hey, it's your girl Paulette, owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses My Brownstone Living, which is everything that you see behind. Y'all see that? He sure is fine. Okay, that's for y'all. That's for those of y'all that's on TikTok. Hey, Aiden, how are you? Noob Physics, Derek Henderson, welcome, welcome. Y'all come on in here. User 462, Cupcake, Contessa, how y'all doing? Wherever enter, mashing. I'm trying to get y'all in here really, really fast. Y'all coming in here pretty fast. Okay, so listen. First of all, welcome, welcome, welcome to the midday day shift. It is super, super late in the afternoon. It is Friday, honey. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon where I am Eastern Standard Time in ATL. And I thought I would come on here and kind of hang out with you guys for a little bit, like I did yesterday, because I kind of enjoyed it. And hopefully that you guys got something out of that as well. Once again, it's your girl Paulette. I'm the owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses brownstoneworldwide.com. We also have Brownstone Living magazine, which you see behind me. If you're on TikTok, you can actually see the Christmas issue. I'll be providing information on how you can get it a little bit later over here on Facebook and YouTube and all that other stuff. But over here, you guys can get it on TikTok in the bio. Link is in the bio. All right. Let's see. What are we going to talk about? First of all, did y'all see the name of the topic? It's called Mind Your Own Business. That's what we're going to talk about today. That's absolutely what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into it. Hey there, Arden Hill. How are you? I want to dig into it just a little bit so that we get some clarity on what I mean by mind your own business. Because when you see the topic or the topic title for today, the first thing that you think about is, ooh, who's she talking about? What is she discussing today? I am talking about minding your own self business in 2023, right? So let's talk about that. Hey, Tom, man, how are you? Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. So this, y'all, is the afternoon edition of what I like to call the day shift, which is aired on KCCR, the Brownstone. I don't have a mic or anything right now. I'm just sitting here. I'm chilling. I'm at my desk, as you can see, my swivel chair and a little bit of the green backdrop a little bit over there. But listen. I want to talk to you guys about 2022. Question. Have you done any reflection yet? I got questions. I'm curious. I want to know. Hey, Scorpio 11465. Nanny Banani. Hey there. How are you? I'm trying to catch you as you come in, right? Okay. So has anybody done any reflection? None? You thought about it, or you just trying to get through each day? Is that right? Okay. So let's talk about that just a little bit. Reflections, Mexican Paul Bunyan. I love it. I love the name. Hey there, how are you? So listen, I want to talk about that today because I myself personally am doing some reflections. Okay. I think it is important to do reflection. Okay. Hang on. So now all of a sudden, everybody, without fail, hold on. First of all, y'all know I like to do the news, right? Okay. Y'all, first of all, hey, Barbie Doll Marie, how are you? Hey. Yes, leave the internet department from the internet. Hayden, I am saying I'm going to put the internet down. It takes up too much of my life. Yeah, kind of does. But you know what? This is where most of my businesses is online. So it's kind of hard to do that. Yes. So listen, y'all, let's talk about what you're going to be doing in 2020. What have you done in 2022? And let's talk about 2023. Okay. Yes, you did. So you're saying I'm going to put the internet down. It takes up too much time too much of your life. Okay, so I get that part. Absolutely. 12-345 Pollock. Yes. Hi there. This is what I want to do. I want to tell you guys what's happening in the news. We have our resident newscaster over here on KCCR Radio. I'm going to go ahead and let him tell you all what's happening in the news. We got about 3.5 minutes. Then we're going to come back and let's dig a little bit deeper into minding your own business. But first, let's get into this news.
Russia's foreign minister warned on Thursday that if the United States confirms reports that it plans to deliver sophisticated air defense missiles to Ukraine, it would be, quote, another provocative move by the U.S. that could prompt a response from Moscow.
Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova said in a weekly briefing that the U.S. had effectively become a party to the war in Ukraine, following reports that it will provide Kyiv with Patriot surface-to-air missiles, the most advanced the West has yet offered to help repel Russian aerial attacks. Harry Michaels reporting.
A judge on Thursday handed down the longest prison term so far in the plot to kidnap Michigan's governor, sentencing 3 men who forged an early alliance with the leader of the scheme before the FBI broke it up in 2020.
Joe Morrison, Pete Musico, and Paul Beller were not charged with having a direct role in the conspiracy, but they were members of a paramilitary group that trained with Adam Fox, who separately faces a possible life sentence on December 27th for his federal conviction. Davis Richards reporting.
December has begun on a fairly mild note across a large part of the United States, but a bitter blast of cold air that will flow into North America from Siberia is forecast to plunge the eastern 2/3 of the country into deep freeze in the days leading up to Christmas.
The cold could challenge records that have stood since the 1980s, as sub-zero temperatures are expected to grip states from the northern Rockies to the east. AccuWeather long-range forecasters expect the mercury to be up to 40 degrees Fahrenheit below late December averages in parts of the country. Roger Cantor reporting.
A key UN committee has again blocked Myanmar's military junta from taking the country's seat at the United Nations, 2 well-informed UN diplomats said on Wednesday.
The General Assembly's Credentials Committee met Monday and deferred action on the junta's request, the diplomat said, speaking on condition of anonymity before the formal announcement.
This is the latest news headlines. The Federal Reserve reinforced its inflation fight by raising its key interest rate for the 7th time this year and signaling more hikes to come, but it announced a smaller hike than it had in its past 4 meetings at a time when inflation is showing signs of easing. The Fed made it clear in a statement and a news conference by Chair Jerome Powell that it thinks sharply higher rates are still needed to fully tame the worst inflation bout to strike the economy in 4 decades. At least 3 people died and more than a dozen were injured across Louisiana as severe weather carved a path of destruction. A tornado touched down in New Orleans around 4 p.m. Wednesday, the National Weather Service said. More than 40 tornadoes were reported across the South in the past 2 days, according to the Storm Prediction Center. Reality television stars Todd and Julie Chrisley, who last month were sentenced to prison for fraud and tax crimes, will be headed to Florida to serve their time, according to documents from the U.S. Marshal Service that recently filed with the court. Todd and Julie Chrisley, best known for the reality series Chrisley Knows Best, were found guilty in June of conspiracy to defraud banks out of more than $30 million in fraudulent loans. In addition, they were found guilty of several tax crimes, including attempting to defraud the Internal Revenue Service. Tesla Incorporated Chief Executive Officer Elon Musk has sold 22 million shares worth $3.58 billion in the electric vehicle maker this week, a U.S. securities filing showed. The latest sale, Musk's second since his $44 billion purchase of Twitter in October, brings the total of Tesla stock sold by the billionaire to nearly $40 billion over the past year. He now owns 13.4% of the world's most valuable car maker, according to Refinitiv data. And that's the latest news headlines. I'm Alan Edwards.
All right. That was Alan Edwards giving us the news and information that we could use from brownstoneworldwide.com media news. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Alan Edwards. We appreciate you. Now, let's get into today's topic, shall we? All right. So again, remember, I am on several different platforms. So if I turn this way, I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm trying to get everybody in at the same time. Okay. So we're going to probably do something like this, and I'll just lean on my little desk right here. Okay. So listen, have you reflected back on what your 2022 looks like? or looked like or what you did. Because, right, we're down to like the last 10 days of the year. 10? Is it 10? No, a little bit more than that, a little bit 13, 14 days, right? And so one of the things that I like to do is I like to assess, what did I do? Did I achieve the goals that I set for myself? And then did I also set myself up for the success that I thought I was going to have? Because it's one thing to achieve them, but did you really, really make them stick? Right. So one of the things that I really wanted to focus on this year, number one, was getting my hair to grow back after surgery. That was number one. And it did. Is it back to full capacity? No. Have I seen an impact since surgery? Absolutely, I have. And we're talking about with my physical self, some things, some changes that I'm noticing, some feeling I'm probably never going to get back, those kinds of things. But thank God I'm still here, So yes, I have assessed the fact that last year, this time, I was in recovery and I was taking treatments and I was doing all of the things, and my hair had fallen out and I had to have the kids shave it off one night. So it was a disaster. And so everything came back with a clean bill of health, and thank God I'm still here. So when I look at where I could be, I'm in a pretty good place right now. Okay. So I'm okay with that. That was a big aha moment for me, because I said to myself, this time last year, I was in a very, very different place. Could barely take care of myself and was still trying to get up and go to somebody's job every single day. Because if I don't do it, who will? And I'm going to also say this. I was thinking about something Trevor Noah said. I saw his goodbye statement, and he talked about Black women overall. And he said, Black women can't afford to fuck around and find out. I couldn't. That's how come I allowed myself to walk around to be as sick as I was for as long as I was, knowing what was happening. Because there is just me. There is no one else. If something happens to me, everything that I'm standing on, I'm the rock. Basically, I'm the brownstone. Does that make sense? I'm the only one that's standing and holds everything up. And so if something happens to me, you can't take off. So how do I offset that in the incoming year? You know what I mean? So what have I set myself up for? How have I done things in terms of insurance, which I have, those kinds of things? How am I doing in terms of making sure that if something were to occur, can my family get to my things? Did I set up a trust this year? Is that on the over? Hey, Tony, how are you? Come on in. Is that something that needs to be talked about? Well, we're talking about minding your own business. So for those of you all who are just joining, thank you so much for joining this mid-afternoon talk for the day shift. I'm going to start calling it the day shift midday. Okay. So it's right after lunch for most of you guys. Okay. And it's right when you start to get a little sleepy, and you could take you a siesta, but you can't, because you got to finish your job and get home to take care of the rest of the household and the rest of your day. This is that moment. So now is a good time for us to start talking about minding your own business. So if you are just now joining us, go ahead and share this, tag somebody, matter of fact, I haven't even shared it. Let's talk about that. So let me get my other phone, and I'm going to share it as well. Okay. I think that'd be a really good idea. So let me go ahead and, I need to screenshot that, because that's going to be some good affirmations to share with you guys. But listen, we have to start taking inventory of what we have going on. Okay. So have you inventoried your health? Did you do that? You heard me just talk about how much of a mess my life was last year, because I hadn't inventoried my health, because I couldn't fuck around and find out. Yeah, I said it just like that. I couldn't do it. So I had to keep going. You know what I mean? And so many of us end up with those situations. So I am going to write down for myself with my little pencil, I can no longer fuck around and find out. So what does that mean? I have to start putting some things in line. Okay. These were things that I was planning on doing. So pause. Stop planning on doing anything. We're going to talk about that with Mind Your Own Business too. Okay. So let me go ahead and share this broadcast with a couple people first. And then I want to dig a little bit deeper. So let's talk about your health. Did you handle your business? Did you? I got questions. Copy. Because that's real talk right there. Did you handle your business with your personal health? Have you been to the doctor? And I'm not talking about because you got sick and you had to go to the ER. I'm talking about, did you make your regular doctor's appointments that were scheduled or not? And did you schedule them? Did you go for your annual mammogram? Did you go for, your regular gynecological exam? Did you go for your prostate exam? Did you go for the things that are necessary, the annual things? Have you had a colonoscopy lately? I hope I said that right. Colonoscopy. Did you do that? Have you? Our health is the richest thing that we can give ourselves. And most of us, it's the last thing that we think about because we out here getting it. Okay. So when I talk about minding your own business, the very first thing that we need to take care of is our personal health. Real talk. Hey there. Hello, Kitty. How are you? Welcome. Yeah. So that's just, something that's standard across the board that we should be doing anyway. Your health, because without your health, guess what you don't have? You can't get well because you're dead. You laid up in a hospital somewhere, And here's something else to seriously think about as well as I share this. Okay. All right. One other thing, folks. When you are thinking about your health, let's also talk about our personal and mental health as well. Let's not leave that out. Because one of the things that I noticed that we do a lot of times is, oh, wow, 3 of y'all want to join? I can't, y'all, but I sure appreciate you. Okay. One of the things that we can't keep doing is we cannot keep waiting until something happens. We can't wait until the bottom falls out of everything. I learned a long time ago, just not from Murphy's Law, but by life happening and lifing. It's not so much about your planning for the worst, but you're setting yourself up for things that could possibly happen. And a lot of time, and I'm not just talking about life insurance and health insurance and all of that, but what are you going to do if you get set down for 6 or 7 months at a time? For whatever reason. A perfect example. Let me tell you what just came up on brownstoneworldwide.com. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. And this is why this is so important. I'm going to go over to brownstoneworldwide.com. Y'all, that's a hint. Take it. All right. So when you head over to brownstoneworldwide.com, listen. Goldman Sachs is getting ready to lay off 4,000 people. I didn't say 4. I said 4. When it gets to be that big, it's 4,000. You getting ready to let go of 4,000 people. So as the Wall Street Bank struggles to meet profitability targets, the Goldman Sachs Group is going to lay off up to 4,000 people. News platform Semaphore reported on Friday, citing people familiar with the matter. According to the report, managers across the firm have been asked to identify low performers for what could be a cut of up to 8% of its workforce early next year, with some cautioning that no final list has been drawn up. A source familiar with the matter told reporters in September that the bank was planning to cut jobs after pausing the annual practice for 2 years during the pandemic. Now, 4,000 people, that's a lot of people. So are you ready for something like that? Because here's what I know. They're saying, oh, we're not in a recession. We're not this, we're not the girl. Listen, let me tell you something. We're on the edge of one. And some people say, well, the numbers don't show whether or not we're in a recession or not, XYZ. We really don't know. But at the end of the day, they are still letting go of folks that don't own the company. Ask me how I know. Are you ready for that? So now we're still taking assessment of last year, though. Okay. So please keep that in mind. Hey, Sam the Hot Mess. How are you? I love that name. That's awesome. So y'all, we just talking about minding our own business today. That's all we doing. Okay. Go ahead and get some other people in the room and have them to get some paper and some pencils or something to write with or whatever, because this is a conversation that needs to be had as we get ready to get into the new year. Okay. Here's what I'm not here to do. I am not here to discuss whether or not this is a new year or not. I know what my calendar says, and whether or not you believe it or not, that's completely up to you. But what I do know is that we should be assessing ourselves daily anyway to see if we are where we're supposed to be. Okay. So this is not biblical or anything like that. I'm sure that it's somewhere in there. So for those of you all that want to test my gangster on that, please don't, because I'm not here for that either. Okay. It is really just about whether or not you have done your assessment. Did you earn the money that you said you wanted to do? Did you start the business that you said you wanted to? Did you give back to the community that you live in like you said that you were going to do? Did you start going to the gym on a regular basis, or did you let something stop you? No, I'm talking to Paulette right now. Y'all just happen to be in the room. Okay? Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Y'all just happen to be here. So if you happen to glean something from that, then okay. Okay? Seriously. Were you able to save enough money? Were you able to do all of the things that you said that you wanted to do? Did you have to cash out some stuff? Did you have to sell some stuff? Do you have the streams of revenue that you said that you were going to have? And if you didn't, here's something else. Don't just write it down. Assess what happened or what did not. That's going to be important. So let's say, for instance, I got my little composition book here, y'all. Okay. And I'm going to open it up to a blank page, which is rare. Blank page. And I am going to write down some of the things. My health, which is my weight. You know, did I go to all my doctor's appointments? Oh, you best believe I did. Okay. I wanted to come off those meds. My finances. So I'm just really kind of writing everything down. Not because I'm trying to sell y'all a planner or nothing like that. No, I've already done that. I just really wanted to sit down and have this conversation. My mental health, let's put that down there too. Okay. Let me see, what else can we put on here? We can also put on here home. Let's see, savings, but that's under finances. So you could do like savings, retirement, trust or wills, your estate planning. Have you done that? And, some of you all that may be watching may be like, well, I'm 12. Why do I need that? I ain't talking to you then. But what I will say is that if you are adult age, over the age of 18, these are things that you need to be having a conversation with yourself about. Did you assess any of this for the year that's getting ready to pass over? Because if you didn't, you still have time to assess. Now, once you've written all of this down, go back and identify, did you attain the goals that you set for yourself? Well, Paulette, I didn't write anything down. Well, this is the year that you start. Because you can't go anywhere if you don't know where you've been, right? So that's number one. Make sure that you have, hey, I am weird. How are you? Make sure that you have some type of something written down somewhere or something that you can reference and go back to next year, the same time. Make it a habit for yourself. So one of the things that I like to do with brownstoneworldwide.com and all of the other things as we continue to grow, and I'm starting to see the trickle, y'all, and I'm super excited about that. Okay. Because there's a lot of people that's been riding with us since day one, giving of themselves freely, that definitely need to, and are probably like, okay, now wait a minute, what's she doing? That's because, number one, when you're doing a lot of things by yourself, you have to take things slow and steady until you win that race. Not win or if, but until. So what I will say is I assess the business as well. And then once I assess the business, I literally sit down and I plan out every month of the year. I've been doing this now for a couple of years, for about 3 or 4 years now. I'm planning out each year. It's important that you do that. And then for each year, you plan out each month per quarter. What you're doing every single day. Break it down. Plan it out accordingly. Because guess what? You still got a little time. As far as I'm concerned, December is done. So let's start talking about minding your own business. Because here's something else that you're going to do. Once you've assessed and you've sit down and you said, well, why didn't you do this? Or what? It's not about beating yourself up. That's not what it's about. It's about making sure that you stay laser focused on what you are planning on doing next year. Okay? That's really what this is about. If you cannot get out your feelings with this part, you might need to take a step back, chill out for a hot second. Hey, sassy little mama 47, how are you? And then come back. But this is something that you should not miss. You shouldn't miss this. Not this part. It's too important. Your life is in the balance right here. So once you've done that, then what you want to do is you want to get yourself a calendar or just get you a notebook. Okay, this is a regular composition notebook, honey. I think I got this for 50 cents somewhere. Okay, you know, you can get these at the Dollar Tree all the time. And so what I did was I took the book and I just wrote for me, what did I do? And then on the following pages, I'm going to do 12 pages, front and back for January, front and back for February, front and back for March, and so on. That's quarter one right there. What you plan on doing for the first 3 months of the year? What's your plan? Do you know? I'm not talking about your business. I'm talking about your personal life. That's why I say we're here to talk about minding your own business. Okay? April, May, June, what you doing? What's your goal? Do you have one? July, August, September, what's your goal? What you doing with your money? What about any plans that you have to remodel the home or to purchase something new or to put more money aside or to take better care of your health or to have better communication with your children? Do you see what I'm saying? So what do those goals look like for you? It doesn't always have to just be, listen closely, about the money. Okay? Because when everything else is set up, I'm going to tell you something. When everything else is set up, the money going to flow to you anyway because you're not stressed out. One of the quickest way to keep money from you is to keep worrying about it. It ain't looking for you. It's like, oh, you scared? Oh, what you scared of? Okay, well, I can't come over there. And then it won't. Hey, Kirk Smiles, how are you? Does that make sense? And so when we are planning out our years, a couple things that I want you all to do. So mind your own business, or MYOB. It is 5 significant steps that you need to make. Now, what I will tell you is that every single year, I actually do a webinar series that's called MYOB. I do it as a part of the Sunday Brunch syndicated radio series. Hey there, Inner Way. How are you? You see what I'm saying? It's the first thing that I do at the end of the year is I have that webinar. And because I've been so busy, I've pushed it all the way back until January. So we're going to be doing it in January, and I'm going to be sharing how you can register for it. But here's the thing. Hey, Eram 835, how are you? One of the things that I want you to remember is that you have to get into the habit of making sure that you're writing things down for yourself. So what does that look like? January is really still the beginning of the year. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing something in a planner or a notebook or whatever, right? But it's really 5 simple steps that you can take to get yourself on track. Number 1, you got to wake up. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get up. That's the second thing. You're going to make a plan. You're going to work your plan. You're going to stay ready. Those are the 5 things that I live by. And these last couple of years, as Brownstone Worldwide starts to change and starts to gain more clients and offering new things, y'all, it is important that I understand how to do that. Okay? So now that we've gotten over to 2023, because as far as I'm concerned, you're there. You're going to write down those things that are still important to you from last year that maybe you just didn't reach, or maybe you're at the edge and you're getting ready to tip over into that. Write it down if that's what you want to still consider or work on. And if it's not, take it off. But don't leave it blank. Important for you to do that. So again, wake up. We're going to talk about that on a Sunday Brunch show on KCCR. The new episodes are going to start airing, listen closely, January 15th. Right now, we are currently running reruns because we run in businesses over here. So we literally had to start treating our podcast series like seasons. Season 1 is going to run from January to March. Season 2, of course, April until June, and so forth. And it'll be specific weeks that you'll be able to hear what's happening. So that's going to be the very first one. Wake up, get up, make a plan, work your plan, stay ready. We should say that once again. Wake up, get up, make a plan, work the plan, stay ready. And the big thing is to stay ready, especially if you have huge goals. Because when you stay laser focused on what you want to do, trust and believe that whatever you are focused upon is going to present itself eventually. And the question is are you going to be ready? Simple as that. Okay. So when you get to a point where you know that you are ready to start taking these steps to mind your own self business, to mind your business, get you a piece of paper and start writing it down. Not only do I need you all to write it down, get strategic with it, because it's one thing to just write it down, because that doesn't help you. What you need to do is to find out exactly how you feel about that. We're going to talk about that too when I start doing the Mind Your Own Business series as a part of the Sunday Brunch. So for those of you all who are not familiar, I literally have a syndicated radio show. Hey, Kenny, Kennedy. I like that. Kennedy 118. I like the way you spell that. For those of you all who are not aware, I have a syndicated show called The Sunday Brunch, where we help you rise and shine for your life. And as a part of that series, what we do is we encourage you. So I already know what topics I'm going to talk to y'all about in the new year. Why? Well, because these are things that I personally have dealt with myself. Why wouldn't I want to share that with you guys to kind of help you make things a little bit easier for yourself? You know what I mean? Super important for you guys to know that. Super important. Okay. Then the second thing is not only are you able to listen to me talk through the podcast, there's also a mashup of jazz and gospel that is a part of the 2-hour show. You want to check it out? I would go ahead and download the KCCR My Brownstone Living the app, and I would absolutely listen in every single day if you can, right? Because we get the news and information from Alan Edwards. He's a part of our team. We also have Jonathan Bell, who's a part of our content team. And then I bring my kids in where I can, and they support as well. So shout out to Imani. She handles brownstonemarketplace.com. Kevin or KJ actually helps to support brownstoneworldwide.com, and Miss Alia, whenever she's home from FAMU, she helps to support brownstoneworldwide.com as well. And then we have contributing folks who are helping with Brownstone Living the magazine. So it's a whole lot of different pieces that are being helped out along the way behind the scenes, that even the air personalities who help produce the shows and deliver them to us, they don't even know the things that we have going on behind the scenes, but we're getting ready to share with them too. It starts next week. So we're excited about that. But how did I even come to the point where I'm even able to have these conversations? Y'all, I've been planning all next year for the past month and a half. Seriously. I always start with what I would like to see, and then I get realistic with myself. Because here's what I know. Everybody is going to want to start with you, but most people are not going to finish with you. So you always have to make sure that you got two things aligned for yourself. One, that whatever you have planned, you're able to do it yourself, or you can hire somebody to help you with it. Do not depend on anybody to support you through what you're trying to get done. It is not personal, y'all. This is what it is. Okay. Hey, Nikki Fisher, how are you? Okay. Then once you do that and you have planned out each quarter, break it down by quarter. Don't hurt yourself now. Don't just chomp on it. Take little bitty bites. Okay. Get over to Q2, Q3, Q4. You got it planned out. Now, if it's anything that has a monetary value to it, write that down as well. And you're going to start working backwards, so you can figure out what you need to do. Oh, well, I know that by Q3, I need to have all of my life insurance and everything set up. I've called an attorney, or I've got some additional support from somebody so that I can set up the trust fund or whatever I need to for my family upon my transition to the other side, shall we say, right? Okay. I am going to write in my personal whatever every single day. That could be a plan that you have, so you can assess years later what life was really like for you in 2023. You never know. Could end up being a book, could be not. Hey, Paul Roberts 592, how are you? I hope this is making sense, because it's really important for you guys to understand how serious it is that you guys get a plan. Hey, Mama J 1944, super important. These are things that I've learned along the way, because as a young adult, which clearly I'm not anymore, but as a young adult, what I would do is I would just wake up. Happy New Year. Praise the Lord, saints. We done had our black eyed peas. We done put our money on the doorstep. We done blew cinnamon and salt into the front of the house. All of the hoodoo stuff that my family does. You know what I mean? And then we hope for the best. Y'all, you better put some planning behind that stuff. For real. Like for real, for real. Hey, Doxson Marine, how are you? Seriously, put some planning behind it. You can still do all of the steps, all of the things. Hey, user, I'm not going to count all them numbers, but I see you. You can do all of the things. Super important. But today is December 16th, 2022. The holidays are right here. Jade for Justice, welcome. It's LizBiz.Liz. Hey, I see you. So listen, take the time to get a journal and write down what it is that you see yourself doing. Y'all see this sucker behind me? That's Brownstone Living Magazine. We officially did it. Hey, Peter Maylock, how are you? Layla by David, welcome, welcome. I'm trying to catch you guys as you're popping in. If I miss you, charge it to my head and my eyeballs and not my heart. I don't mean any harm. So listen, the reason why this is so important is because if you're on TikTok, you can actually see my backdrop is literally the current edition of Brownstone Living Magazine, where we help you live the Brownstone lifestyle. Hey, Love Big Yo, how are you? Okay. Y'all, I planned this last year. Last year. It is literally a published magazine now. Okay. Published magazine. Now, had I not had it planned out, had I not had any idea of how I was going to do it, had I not been practicing along the way and doing certain things, even when I was working a full-time gig, if I wasn't working towards getting it done and had it already planned out, there would be no Brownstone Living launch. It launched, and y'all, here's the beauty of it. Thanks to you guys who are, applauding and congratulating all the platforms. Listen, the first 5 days, this sucker had 20,000 plus views. And my reports show, now that might not be something to some, a lot of people or whatever, but it is to me. I can literally see the numbers and I can see the click-through. So when you open up the magazine for the very first time, guess what happens? You can click through to other things like videos. You can actually click through to Brownstone Marketplace to see what we got for sale over there. Merch and home decor and things like that for yourself or whatever. All of that is over there. Okay. There are clothes that are coming as well. Okay. But had I not sat down and planned all of that out, literally 2022 was about planning and executing some things. KCCR, y'all, here's the truth. Been running for 13 years. 13. Now it's time to change. And we're going to strictly talk. We're going to have some mashup of music or whatever, but it will be mainly podcast streaming. Well, you can go to Spotify and do that. You can go to Anchor. And yeah, you can get lost in the shuffle too. Hey, William Brumfield, how are you? Wilhelmina Brumfield, I think. Cruise Kid 19616. Hey, how are you? I'm reading them so fast. So again, if it charges to my head and not my heart. So what I'm saying to you is find the time to assess what you did for 2022. Did you reach your goals? And then find out why you did or you did not. It's okay. It's okay to do that. Count your wins and not your losses. Because again, remember what I always say, everything is a class. Everything is a lesson. And whatever you didn't pass, guess what? You will repeat it. It will be just a different teacher. I say it all the freaking time. So now that you know that, then thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate that. Thank you for the follow. Hey there, Chicago. I'm originally from Wisconsin. I tried to lose the Some of you from that area know what I'm talking about. Some people call it the Canuck, especially if you are like way up there in Wisconsin. Yes. So, okay. Now, and spent some cool, man, Chicago. Oh, it's just the hawk. Lake Michigan is just, a little cold for me. That's why I live in Atlanta now. So you've assessed, you've done all the things. Now break down 2023. Don't try to swallow it all at once. You kill yourself. They always know. Thank you for that. Yeah. So take the time, break down your year into quarters, just like I did when I was planning out Brownstone Living Magazine, as you can see behind me, for those of you all who are on TikTok. Okay. For those of you all who are not, I'm going to go ahead and share with you what Brownstone Living Magazine actually looks like. The link is in the bio for those of you all who are on TikTok. You can go ahead and get your free issue this month. Subscription service is only $2 a month, y'all. And we're providing news and information that you can use. We're providing content, all of the fun stuff. And I get to pretend I'm Oprah sitting in my chair with my champagne glass. Okay? Seriously. Okay? But again, remember, this is Brownstone Living, and living the brownstone lifestyle is really about the urban professional who is doing their thing. They're making things happen. They are living, and you're living in those communities all around the world using the internet as your community. So that's all Brownstone Living is. It's a way for us to connect and to be our best selves. Okay, so we're going to help you live the brownstone lifestyle with content that you need. This month, we talked about fitness. Honey, we talked about money. We talked about business credit versus personal credit and what you need to know, because there's a bunch of people out there that's spewing out misinformation and getting y'all caught up. You're getting caught up out here thinking you balling out, and really all you're doing is you're acquiring credit. You didn't earn it. And some of you guys are selling or reselling information that you learned from somebody else's course. You don't even know what you're doing. I'm just saying, hey, Beach Boy Forever, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. That's what y'all doing. I see you. And how I know it's what you're doing is because some of you guys are literally regurgitating verbatim the information that you just got. Okay? So be careful when you're out here in these internet streets and you're doing stuff that could hurt someone and you don't even realize it. Okay? Trying to line your pockets. So again, there should be a level of integrity with everything that you do. That's what we talk about in Brownstone Living. Okay? You also get an opportunity this month to be introduced to every single last one of our air personalities currently, because that is getting ready to grow. We actually have our very first air personality meeting next week so that we can talk about KCCR at what times that each one of our hosts, is going to air. Y'all, this takes work. And the issue is a lot of us think that when we see people who are on here who are doing their thing, first of all, they make it look easy. And people are not talking about the long nights that we are having. I didn't go to bed until 4:30 this morning. Okay. Nobody talk about that. Hello there, Helen Ocampo. How are you? 1234. We're not talking about that. We just see the end result and we think, oh, I can do that. No, you can't. You don't have the stamina. You don't. For some of the stuff that I've heard over the past couple of days, you don't have the stamina. I had somebody tell me, this is a true story. I had somebody tell me yesterday, and I don't know if they meant it in love or whatever, but I didn't take it that way, that I should not have my photo in my magazine because of the way that I look, and nobody's going to want to do business with me. How dare you? And then you cover it up and you say, oh, I'm just saying it in love. No, that's narcissistic behavior, and I smell it a mile away. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful how you talk to people. That's something else when we talk about mental health and all of that. Hi there, Stay Awakened. How are you? You know what I mean? Julie Todd, welcome. Yeah. How dare people tell somebody that? And here's something else too. Well, how is your emotional state, your mental state this time of the year? For real. Put all of that in perspective when you're planning out your year, because it's more than just a notion to say what you're going to do. You have to have a plan of action and planning behind it. What is your strategy to get to the next phase, the next level, and what you plan on doing? Would you plan on going back to school? You got all your stuff together? You got your transcripts? What about your fees? See, don't nobody tell you about them fees until they get you on the call with the counselor, and the counselor's like, oh, it's $175, it's $75. Pay the fee. Now you have to push everything back because all of your funds have already been allocated to the bills in your household, right? So now you got to push the semester back. That's what I mean by saying, are you prepared? Did you do the research? So always start from the end and work your way backwards and plan everything out accordingly. So literally, we know what we are going to be doing. Hey, Demetrius. Ooh, y'all coming in pretty fast now. Literally, we know what we're going to be doing every single month in the Brownstone. I have to know. Just like I have to know what I'm going to do with my life. I have to know. So while I'm planning out my personal life, I'm also planning out the business, because guess what? They really do intertwine since I own it. What location am I going to next? That's how come y'all don't see my backdrop much anymore. I don't even really sit in the kitchen anymore with it. Why? Because that's where I live my life. I've had to create an office outside of the house now. Because guess what's getting ready to happen next? I have to have a facility that when my business is so I went down to my county courthouse and I found out that I have to, in order for me to have X amount of people working on a podcast or, a recording or something like that, I had to have a specific type of license. And so it would be better for me to just go, and I have to have a commercial bathroom. I got to do this, da, da, da. I was like, you know what? It probably would be better for me to just get a facility in town. How about that? So guess what's coming down the pipe? Brownstone Living is going to get a building. We don't have any other choice. We don't have any other choice at this point, but it would be so much better because those people who need to have their podcasts done, they can come in and they can do them there. We can do business with other folks and stuff like that, do their photo shoots and everything right there in the facility. It'll be so much easier rather than them coming here and me having to set up a specific portion of the garage or, upstairs in the main office and stuff like that. Y'all should see it. It's I only show sometimes my living room, my downstairs living room, dining room, and my kitchen because those are the only places that don't have a bunch of equipment in it. So ultimately, at the end of the day, what I'm telling you is what are your plans? How much is it going to cost you to get to those plans, get those plans accomplished? And what are you going to do along the way for your personal well-being and your mental state along the way? I definitely need to talk about that because at the end of the day, you have to be able to take care of yourself along this journey called life. Because a lot of times what we do is we just keep right on going. We keep right on going because we figure once we finish this, we'll be done. We can go sit down and we can go take care of ourselves. I'm going to tell you what I learned. You never get it done. You never do. It's always something else. Because once you finish this, because let me tell you something. I'll give you a perfect example. Brownstone Living Magazine. Once again, it's behind me if you're on TikTok. Listen, when I decided, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop it. It was a newsletter. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, it's no longer a newsletter because it's too big. Just go ahead. This is my coach telling me this now. Go ahead and make it a magazine. Oh, okay, let's go ahead and make it a magazine. And then boom. So what I'm saying to you is it did take me writing it down. It did take me writing the vision. And it happened a little bit sooner than I thought. Because really, I wanted to launch it Q2 of next year. I couldn't even wait. And I'm glad that I didn't because the numbers show that I'm on the right track. And the reports show that when people are getting the issue that they want and they're subscribing, thank you to my subscribers. Guess what, folks? When you're getting your issue, you're clicking through to other things. And I can see the reports. So what am I going to do with those reports? Hey, Dennis, how are you? I see you waving. Hey. So yeah, you have to continue to plan. Now, once I have that data, I'm not done. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that information. Hey, Jake, how are you? AJ and Stacy Hawkins, how are you? You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. You got to keep moving because it doesn't stop. You never get it done. And you never will. Hey, Kristen, does that make sense? You're going to get it one day. Trust me. Trust me. You're going to get it. Okay. You never get it done. And I know that that's a hard pill to swallow because it's like, well, what do you mean you never get done? You don't, because it morphs into something else. It changes, it turns. And that's the way that life is. Sneakerhead Maddie, welcome. Okay. Keep that in mind as you go about your day today. Take some time. It's the weekend. It's actually the weekend before the holiday. And consider for yourself, what did I accomplish in 2022? Where can I fix what I may not have been able to do in 2022 and make it a part of 2023? And what are my plans per quarter for 2023? Make them realistic goals based upon what you know right now. And you can always go back and change them. You don't have to just constantly just say, okay, this is strict, this is rigid, this is what it's going to be. You don't have to do that. Not at all. Hot flash, y'all. Hot flash. I don't have no problem telling anybody that. Okay? That's all you got to do is you have to get to a point where you're holding yourself accountable. So if I were to turn my phones around and let y'all see how many notes and stuff I have, y'all. Oh my God, it's everywhere. So I have this 38 by 78 calendar for 2023 that I've posted on the wall in front of me. And it is a huge eraser board. And I've literally taken everything that I need to do and I've written it down for next year per quarter. Now, you don't have to go that far, but I'm a visual person. I have to see it. Then once I do that, then I can say, oh, okay, so that's a project right there. Then I go to Asana or a spreadsheet or a notebook, right? Don't be scared to use these. And I plan them out. So let's say, for instance, I have an event that I have coming up, which I do. I've got 3 this year that are pretty big. So one is we're getting ready for our very first block party. More on that to come. What's already planned? It's already planned out. The next step is the execution to get to the finished product, including marketing and advertising and promotion and all the fun stuff. Okay. You see what I mean? But it's already been planned out. I can literally see it. I'm looking at it right now. I already know the monetary amount that I need to make for that particular project. I already know the monetary amount that I need to do this, because if I need to move, if I need to be able to get people to the point where I'm saying, okay, air personality, XYZ, we don't start your show until we have this many XYZ in place so that you win. Unless you come into the table with it already. You cannot come to the brownstone and expect not to win. That's not what we do. That's not who we are. Okay? That's the new mantra. We're changing the narrative on how we conduct business with one another as well. Everybody has to win one way or another. Okay? And that's how you have to treat business overall, honestly. And how you have to treat people, because you never know, listen closely, if you ever have to double back. Be careful how you treat folks, because you might have to eat crow and go back and reach out. Does that make sense? Okay. So again, this is called mind your own business. So you got all of that planned out. Then the next step is to just start executing. Now, January 15th starts our new season for all shows on KCCR, the Brownstone, and BWTV, which is a part of brownstoneworldwide.com. Y'all, get ready for June. Listen, y'all don't want none of June. You don't want none of June, because June is going to knock your socks off. It's so much happening with the company that I had to push it back to June, because it blew me out of the water. And so I can't wait to share that, but we're gonna have to wait until June. And that's all I'm gonna have to say about that. Okay. So listen. It was something else I was gonna tell y'all, but whenever I get to this point, then I know that it's time for me to shut up and shut down. Here's what I need you guys to do. Head on over to brownstoneworldwide.com. Start perusing around. Here's something else too. Get your copy of Brownstone Living Magazine. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share it over here. If you guys want a copy, you can definitely get one. Okay. You can go to brownstoneworldwide.com. And you can also go to bit.ly/Brownstone Living Mag, and you can get your copy of this month's issue. This month's issue is free. After that, it's $2. You got $2? I got you. Okay. Real talk. Okay. Oh, we got a comment over here. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. Yeah. You can get your copy. Other than that, it's $2, because guess what? It costs money to run a brownstone. I'm not kidding. It does. Not only that, but how much longer can we expect people to rock with you and they're not winning? You can't keep doing that, folks. Oh, I'm talking to me. Oh, that's right. Okay, I forgot. All right. I don't want to get, but if the shoe, what do they say? If the shoe fits, if the truth hurts, say ouch. That's what they say. If the truth hurts, say ouch. Just say ouch. I had to say ouch. And at least I'm willing to acknowledge that. Okay. So that's first and foremost. TikTok, Your link is in, hold on. Your link is in the bio. You can go ahead and check it out there. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, your link is right there on the screen. You can go ahead and check it out. It's going to ask for your email first, and then you'll be able to go ahead and grab it. Okay, simple as that. I want to keep in touch with y'all because MYOB, the actual series, we're going to do a series, y'all, on MYOB. You think you have an idea on what it is. It ain't. It is not a vision board party. I'm going to dig deep, and I'm going to ask you to join me to dig deep. But we're going to talk about that in January. This is not a New Year thing. This is an everyday thing that I want to teach you, something that I learned myself, and I am literally living what I wrote down. But it was how I did it. And I want to share that with you. That's what MYOB is all about. Because when you minding other people's business, guess what you're doing? You ain't minding yours. Hello? That's not what you're doing. Let me go ahead and plug me up before I lose my juice. Okay, there we go. All right, yeah. If you minding everybody else's business, you know, ooh, child, did you hear what so and so did? Ooh, child, did you hear what so? No. Take care of your business. Y'all, when you're requesting to come on live with me, please understand that I'm trying not to do that because some of y'all be on here cutting up. TikTok. Y'all be, hey, Conservative Beagle, how are you? So if you are down, you want to try it out, you want to hit me up for the MYOB challenge, keep it locked. Get your issue, get subscribed to Brownstone Living Magazine so that you can know, you'll know firsthand when things are coming down the pipe, because that's how you're going to know. You're either going to know because it's in the magazine, or 2, you're going to go to Brownstone Worldwide, or 3, you're going to be listening to KCCR the Brownstone. Okay. Y'all, we got some events coming up next year. We got some award ceremonies coming up next year. And if I have my way, we're going on a cruise. Because I've waited until this is over, quote unquote, over. The pandemic was over, and it's not. But I'm not gonna stop living. So we're going on a cruise, y'all. I'm excited. I cannot wait for that. That is going to be a blast. I'm excited. Y'all excited for that? I know I am. And here's something else too. Oh, I can't even talk about it. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to let Cullen and my other homeboy, DeCarlo, tell you guys about that a little bit later. Okay, because we need to solidify some stuff first on that one. So I'm just going to hold my tongue. But those are the things that I definitely am looking forward to. We got 2 events. 1, the block party. We also have our award ceremony that's coming up next year. Then we also have the cruise coming up. You want to be a part of that. You want to have some fun with it. You definitely want to have some fun with it, enjoy yourself, and get down with the get down, because we live in over here. We live in the Brownstone lifestyle. And listen, it's not about balling out. Let me be clear. Let's be clear. It is not about balling out, y'all. Not at all. It's about enjoying your life right where you are and being your best self right where you are. And how are we going to get there? By getting excited about the dreams that we see in our mind's eye, in our imagination. If you see it, you write it down. I guarantee you can see it through to fruition. I'm living proof of that. And we're not done growing. That much is for sure. Hey, Chloe, how are you? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. So get ready, y'all. Brownstone Worldwide is popping. We are definitely worldwide. We got some connections, y'all, honey. We might end up in Africa next year. That's one of the things I definitely want to do. Maybe not next year, 2024 for sure. But I definitely want to go to the port of no return. I want to see that for myself, because I did the, the ancestry DNA thing or whatever. And I found out that a portion of me is Nigerian and Ghanaian. I want to see it. I definitely do. I think it'd be cool. Let me tell you what I really want to do before I leave this planet. I want to go to all of the places that make up my DNA. I think that would be freaking awesome. I really, really do. Including what does it say? Swiss? No, it wasn't Swiss. Yes, it was. It was Switzerland, somewhere else, another region, something. And I think it's exciting. I've mentioned it before, but it's pretty cool when you see it and it's like, oh, I need to make a trip over here. I need to make a trip over there. Oh, yes, that makes sense. And all of the stuff that my mother was telling me, she was right. She was right. She knew what she was talking about. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to MYOB, minding your own business. Y'all, I really want to know what you guys think about that. Not to the point where I'm going to not do it if 5 people just sign up, but I definitely want you guys to enjoy minding your own business for the 2020-23 season, 2023 season. Because that's what it is. It's another season of your life. And it can start today. It can start tomorrow. Because remember, there really is no such thing as a new year. We made that up. Okay. According to Somalia's calendar, what is it, 2013? So keep that in mind as well. Hey, Vanette, how are you? Kaprowski. So, yeah. Okay. This was good information today, y'all. It's been an hour since I've been on here, and I got to get back to work. We got a couple of other things. Listen, don't forget, head on over to brownstoneworldwide.com to get your news and information that you can use. We got some lifestyle content in there for you today. And also, Tyler Perry's got some stuff to say. Stephen Curry and his injury. Americans are turning to side hustles to combat inflation. That's another one. 3 tips to avoid travel scams in the new year. Okay. All of that is over there on brownstoneworldwide.com right now. Okay. And I do know that Jonathan is working on some new content for this evening. And so you guys, and let me tell y'all something. I am so sorry. Listen, I did not get a strong enough response on that whole reading a Christmas story. We ain't doing that. But remember what I said earlier, you can never get it done. That's a powerful statement because we have to stop thinking that we have to get it right the first time. Every single day, every single moment, we are constantly learning, we're doing, we're growing, we're expanding. And so you're never going to get it done. It's just going to turn into something else. And then it will be something else. Again, Brownstone Living Magazine is a perfect example of that. Brownstone Worldwide is a perfect example. We started with a show called Love, Live, Breathe. Now look at us. And the next step is I got to get out of my garage. Okay? Because I've taken up the rest of the house. The next step is outside. This is the biggest place where I could be, where I could have a studio over there and I could have a sound booth over there. Yeah, I had to build it. I had to put it in position. It's crazy, but we're getting there. And I'm excited. This is exciting, y'all. So listen, here's what I need you to do. 3 things. Are you ready? 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because one day you're not going to be here. You might as well make some memories. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. Here's what you need to know about that. If you take 1 breath, you'll take 2. And 2 becomes 3, becomes a day, becomes a week, becomes a month, becomes years, becomes your life. Love, live, breathe. You guys, I will see you over the weekend for more Tips, Topics, and Talk, and going live with me once again on both of these platforms, all 4 actually. So we'll see you guys tomorrow sometime. I don't know when, but I tell you this, you better be watching because I'm doing a Brownstone Worldwide holiday giveaway, and it's a big old basket. You don't want to miss that. All right, you guys, have a great one. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you around in these internet streets.